This is part 2 of how to handle the cash in your restaurant to prevent theft, make sure there's no mistakes, and that you're keeping as much of your cash as possible. Hey everybody, Ryan Gromfin here, author, speaker, chef, restaurateur, founder of therestaurantboss.com, as well as restaurantprofitandperformance.com. And like I said, today is part 2 in the how to handle cash in your restaurant properly video series. If you've not watched part 1, whether you're on YouTube or if you're on my website, below this video there'll be a link so you can go back and watch part 1. I highly suggest you watch that before we get into this because we're going to just carry on right where we left off there. In the last video series we talked about whether your servers have a bank or whether they don't, or how many drawers you should have in your restaurant, how we handle our safe, our petty cash in the back of the house. And then I talked a little bit about setting up your actual cash registers. I use the example of $300 each, how it's the same every day. But what I didn't do is tell you exactly how I get those set up and how I make the deposits. That's what we're gonna do today. So as I mentioned, I like to set up all my cash registers at $300. Now that may vary for you, but what's most important is that it's a consistent amount. Like I mentioned in the other video, consistency is key to preventing theft and having those systems in place. So let me quickly show you this form that I use here. What I do at the end of every shift, so right at the end of the day, they would fill out this form. But before they do that, they have to start their drawer. So when someone comes in and they're handed a drawer, they will fill out exactly how many pennies, nickels, dimes, etc. they have to get the total cash. Now that should be the $300 that the person the night before set up for them, but they're going to sign it that they actually got the $300. So that way there's no confusion as to them saying at the end of the shift, oh, well, my drawer must have been short. They're going to go ahead and sign that they got the drawer with the right amount of money in it. Now then, let's fast forward to the end of the day. So at the end of the shift, when the restaurant's done, the manager is going to grab all the drawers, come on into the back. If servers use a bank, then he's going to check out all of the servers. He or she's going to check out all the servers and use that petty cash that they have if they need to pay out additional or receive money and build that up or down. But when it comes to drawers, first thing I like to do is enter the sales for the day by category, because this sheet is going to get handed over to your bookkeeper and it's going to become really, really important for them. So I like to break down the category sales because usually your POS will do that between food, beverage, draft beer, bottled beer, wine, liquor, merchandise, etc., whatever you track. But then also, they should count their drawer and get total cash. Then they should subtract the opening cash, which in this case is $300, and they should write down the actual cash that should be in their drawer from the POS system, and then you'll determine whether you're short or over. Now, if you are short or over, please make the deposit exactly how you should. If you're short, make the deposit short. If you're over, make the deposit over. Don't start manipulating your money, because in your accounting system, you're going to record your real sales, and then your short and over is going to go into a short and over account, and then you can audit that to see how it's doing. But again, please don't adjust your actual sales or make deposits differently by adding money or taking money out. It should go in exactly how it was for that day. Then I go through my credit, my checks, my totals, etc. The rest of this is pretty self-explanatory, but what's important is that there's a DSR, a daily sales report, filled out after every single day for each drawer. Some of you may have multiple drawers and you're going to need to use this form for multiple different drawers. Now it obviously wouldn't have the category sales, that only needs to go on one of the forms. But then once our cash register drawers are checked out and our shorts and overages, then what I do is I have my manager take any of the extra money, so what is actually the deposit for that day, and checks, and we put them into a Ziploc bag of sorts. Like the banks will usually give you those like resealable bags. We put the report from the POS system and we put this daily sales report into that bag. We create a deposit slip but don't fill it out, and then we don't seal the bag. We put it into the safe. Then the manager will go back and double count the drawer to make sure that the drawer has the $300 starting for the next day. He or she will make change if we have to. And then we're done for the night. We close up for the night. Now in the morning, when my opening manager would come in, my opening manager will double check the deposit. If it's correct, they'll fill out the deposit form, seal the bag, put it back in the safe. And then as people come in for their shifts, they'll get handed a drawer and they'll double check their drawer. Because remember, this form, the left side of this form was filled out the night before. Now, the last part of this cash handling procedure is making change and going to the bank. This is really, really important. One, I always have a form. Let me show you if I can get it to come up here. There it is. I always have a form similar to this as a bank change request form where we fill out what we're giving to get change and what kind of change we want. And this is just so we don't forget or make mistakes at the bank. We can kind of double check ourselves, and if there is a problem, we can come back to it. Once the change comes back to the restaurant, don't forget we're going to fill out that petty cash change form because it's going to go into petty cash. But here's a couple of tips that are really, really important. I bought 4 or 5 different backpacks and purses and things, and I always had them in the restaurant because I never wanted someone walking out of the restaurant with the same bag every day going to the bank. Now, we went to the bank twice a week in our restaurant. It was always a different day, always a different time, and oftentimes it would be a different employee. It would either be me, my wife, one of our managers. Sometimes we would put the deposit bags and the change into a to-go container and just give them like a restaurant bag. But again, we never created a pattern. I never wanted people to notice that, oh, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock, someone walks out of the restaurant carrying a purple bag, and that's where all the money is. So again, I suggest a very random pattern. And because of the way that we do this deposits, where there's a deposit for every single day, we didn't need to go to the bank every day. We had enough money in the restaurant. We didn't need to go every day. It makes reconciling at the end of the month a lot easier. And it was just a system that worked for us. And if you follow this system, I know it's a little confusing and I know there's a lot of parts to it, and I know we went through it quickly, but you can download these forms right below the video here. There'll be a button or a form for you to complete to download the forms that I showed you here today. Rewatch these videos a couple times, but if you implement these cash handling procedures into your restaurant, you are going to get more money into your pocket. You're going to eliminate theft. You're going to eliminate confusion. You're going to eliminate a lot of the problems that come with handling cash. If you enjoyed this video, there'll be an opportunity for you to like and comment no matter where you're watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go ahead below the video. You could click on back to my website. There'll be a link where you can download the forms, but you could also hit a blue button below my video. You could actually smash that blue button, tell the whole world how much you love this video, share it with your other restaurant friends, leave a comment or question below so I can get them answered for you. But it's your comments and it's your shares that allow me to keep creating this great free content for you. Again, my name is Ryan Gromfin with therestaurantboss.com as well as restaurantprofitandperformance.com. I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing your comments and questions below.